I think the recent development coming from the Russian government under Vladimir Putin will send a very strong signal to Alexander Stubb, who happens to be the Prime Minister or President of Finland currently now, talking about the Scandinavian countries, including Norway and some other countries that are within.
Yeah, so Biafrans, good morning once again. I'm here to tell you and to encourage you that whatever you are doing for this, our freedom that is right, keep doing it. People will call you names, people will call you out, but as far as you know that what you are doing is right and you are on the right track, continue to do whatever you are doing. The time will tell, or rather times will tell. Any good thing that you are doing, people are taking record of it. And always nail the truth the way it is. Fear no man. And that is what our leader is doing today. And always stand on your ground. Because at the end of the day, all of us will enter that promised land in which our Prime Minister has made possible for us to go into. And also remember that our Deputy Prime Minister remains Dr. Madam Ngozi Orebweze, the acting Prime Minister in the absence of our Prime Minister. So whatever anybody is saying, regardless of our Prime Minister's absence, that Madam Orebweze is a Fulani, do not mind them. What they are trying to do is to weigh you down, to make you be discouraged, to let you understand that she is not the right person. But fasten your seatbelts, because the days ahead will definitely become more terrible. But never give up. We will never give up on her until we see something different. Dear friends, I love you all. Pray for me, and I will continue to do so. And pray for our leader going to court tomorrow. We will head home, whether the enemy likes it or not. Nigeria is gone. Believe you me.
I think the recent development coming from the Russian government under Vladimir Putin will send a very strong signal to Alexander Stubb, who happens to be the Prime Minister or President of Finland currently now, talking about the Scandinavian countries, including Norway and some other countries that are within that axis, signaling that they might likely have a deal. And one of the deals they are saying is that there is pressure that is coming from Israel, there's pressure that is coming from the United States of America, and the world is already considering what they are going to do with people who are seeking sovereignty, who are running away from oppression, who are running away from suppression, who want to leverage on the United Nations Charter to see how they can save their lives from banditry, to see how they can save their life from some of the things we found themselves to be what it is currently now. So Alexander Stubb understand the pressure that is in now, and there's need for Norway, to bring the ambassador and agitator and Finland to look into the issue of Simon Ekpa and be able to take a unique step towards how they are going to put these people, not to attract the dangers that is coming, because they are signaling, Russia is already making it very clearly that they are aware of Simon Ekpa's presence in Finland, and why the Finland government should take that step, trying to appeal to a nation that, like Nigeria, that doesn't want to join BRICS to move Africa forward. I think it's on that note that Russia also came in to take a decision on freedom of all the agitators being subjected under nomadic or Scandinavian nations within that axis of Finland and Norway. And of course, we are going to see a great news any moment from now coming out from there, because the man at the helm of affairs in the United States of America, talking about Donald Trump and his allies, and of course his congressmen are ready to put a stop to some of these things. And the fact that what has actually led to likes of the rise of Simon Ekpa is just like what the US congressman has said recently, that money are being used to sponsor Boko Haram, killing of Christians in Nigeria, doing a number of things. The Finland government are hearing this. They know about it. They know that Simon Ekpa is not a terrorist. They have done their feasibilities. Now they have done their check properly. They have gone through all the investigation they needed to. They should not act on Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Nigerian demonic government. No, they shouldn't be acting based on that. Because Simon Ekpa is not connected to any terrorist organization in the world. So what is the terrorism all about? For him to have stand up and if you offer a single voice that Fulanis should stop killing Biafrans, they should stop killing Christians. Why is it that the Nigerian government is silent when it comes to the killing of Christians? That is the problem. We have gotten to that level and they started manipulating, bribing France, using all manner of bilateral relationship with so many countries to make sure that they bring down Simon Ekpa. But unfortunately, they were not able to do that. And I can tell you, the hands of the Fulanese, the Northerners, are still in what is happening to Simon Ekpa in Finland. But now we are having a new, another freedom president who believes in the free world. That's Donald Trump. And as you can see, he's trying to make sure he brings peace, around the world. And there's no how you can talk about peace without protecting a sovereign people from invasion of Islamist tendencies. Even across Europe, you can see so many things killing. Look at what is happening in Israel and Hamas, and all that. So Trump has come to realize that at that level, there's going to world powers, superpowers, world leaders, powerful nations interventions to countries who has struggled for solidarity, for recognition, like Biafra. And we are seeing that at this point, with the revelations so far, I think Alexander Straub is trying to do some level of new moves to see that Simon Ekpa returns to the public, space again, and will take it up from there and possibly push for final recognition by countries that are already signaling to endorse Biafra as a sovereign nation.
But what do you think if Simon Ekpa is granted freedom and the usage of social media again? Do you think he will do more worse than what he's doing before he was cautioned?
Of course, now he has not been found to be involved in any fraud. He has not been found to attack or engage in armed struggle. All what he's saying is that there should be protection, there should be justice, there should be fairness, and the level of oppression and suppression, marginalization, killing deliberately without government protection, especially in the Biafran land, it's not acceptable. And we can fight if we choose to do that. And that is the direction he has stood his ground. I think it is an open thing anybody can say and investigate. You can see the killing that is still ongoing in the country. Would they say that Simon Ekpa now is the one that is killing these people? The answer is no. Are you going to say that Simon Ekpa is the one now bombing the pipelines in River State? The answer is no. Are you saying that Simon Ekpa is responsible for the protests in Ondo State as a result of massive killing by Fulani herdsmen, Boko Haram in that state? What are you going to say that Simon Ekpa, but you see Nigeria will go down? There's no two ways about it. As long as they continue to raise their filthy hands against the children of the Most High, there's no how Nigeria can be well. It can never be well with Nigeria. The more the Nigerian government continue to keep a blind man, the people who are contributing so much to the survival of Nigeria, who are risking their life on daily basis, who are making the Nigerian economy to drive, and still you term them enemy. Well, the people are saying it has gotten to that level over 64 years now, and the best thing that is need to be done is for the world to recognize the existence of these people as a sovereign group, nation, union. That is all. I don't think there's anything big that the likes of Simon Ekpa is talking about. But I can tell you that if the United Nations is not pro-Islam, they should look into the case of Simon Ekpa, because one of the reasons why United Nations is being established is to make sure that a situation like this does not get to a level where it will now result to massive killing and taking away of lives as a result of people are trying to protect their tribe, protect their genuity, protect whatever they feel, they protect their heritage and culture and live their life in destinies. It's as simple as that. So I believe that it will come to that point that the use of force might be involved in liberation of people who have already taken that stand, that direction of surviving any trend like this, like where we find ourselves.
Okay, and lastly, now the Kanu will defend himself in the court tomorrow. Do you think that he feels that his lawyers or his counsel, Alo Ejimako, do you think that he feels that he's not capable for him? The Kanu say he wants to defend himself, tomorrow in the court of law? Do you think he feel that?
Of course, it's going to be an atmosphere of woto. Of course, a lot of things is going to happen, and there's going to be a clash of intellectualism, and we are seeing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu giving James Omotosho, the new judge, a chance, to be rational and not to be seen to have been influenced by any force outside what the law, says. And that is very simple for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We will not be seeing any kind of confrontational atmosphere in the court. The man should, though he's saying he's hearing, then hearing what, well, if that's hearing, we give you the opportunity to hear. Then, what happens after hearing? Hearing, then trial, whatever, they're going to come up. The whole world is watching. Delegates are everywhere. A lot of people are coming in for this. You can see what the judges are already saying, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot longer be tried in Nigeria. That if they want to try Nnamdi Kanu, they should look at the issue that has to do with the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya. I think when that issue is being settled, as long as that issue has not been settled, there's no court that is competent in Nigeria to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So what we are still seeing up to today is pure illegality. So whatever it stands, Nnamdi Kanu is appearing, and we are going to see how the new judge is going to look into the matter and why the whole world watches.
B leadership has strongly condemned what they describe as a deliberate smear campaign against Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. A recent entry on the Finnish version of Wikipedia has come under scrutiny, with accusations that it misrepresents Ekpa's role and distorts the Biafran struggle for self-determination. The USB government is calling this a calculated attack aimed at discrediting their movement in the eyes of the international community. Meanwhile, in Oslo, Norway, a court ruling in favor of Ambazonian leader Dr. Cho Ayaba has sparked both celebration and controversy. The court dismissed charges against Dr. Ayaba, but a state prosecutor has already announced plans to appeal. We will bring you full details on these two major developments, along with expert analysis. Jonathan has more.
The States of Biafra government has issued a strong statement condemning what they describe as an orchestrated attempt to manipulate public perception of Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. The Finnish Wikipedia page in question, accessible at fi.wikipedia.org, wiki Simon Ekpa, has been accused of containing misleading and defamatory content. Officials argue that this is part of a broader strategy to delegitimize the Biafran struggle and undermine their leadership. According to USB government, Minister of Information, Telecommunications, and Postal Services Dr. Agi, this is not an isolated incident, but rather a systematic effort to distort historical narratives. They claim that international forces opposed to Biafra's independence have long relied on media disinformation to discredit their movement. She further explains that they can peddle their lies as long as they wish, but we have defeated them. The more they propagate these distortions, the more they expose their complicity in the ongoing genocide against our people. As the controversy unfolds, BTN has reached out to Wikipedia for comment regarding allegations of bias and misinformation. As of now, there has been no official response. Back to you in the studio.
Begin with an inspiring story about Nnamdi Kanu's son, who has made global headlines for his academic excellence. Meanwhile, tragedy strikes in Enugu State as a university student is brutally killed in a targeted attack by Fulani herdsmen. These stories and more coming up next. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's son has been recognized as the best student in mathematics and science in Georgia, USA, outperforming students from over 30 countries including China and England. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB. He was kidnapped by the Nigerian government from Kenya while traveling with UK passports and rendition to Nigeria in 2021. Nnamdi Kanu's son crowned best student in mathematics and science in the USA. This young scholar's achievement is a testament to the resilience and brilliance of Biafran youths worldwide. If you're just joining us, we earlier reported on the remarkable achievement of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's son, who was awarded for outstanding performance in mathematics and science in the United States. Now we turn to a tragic incident in Enugu State, where a university student was brutally murdered by Fulani herdsmen, leaving an entire community in mourning. Donatus Ndubuisi, a 29-year-old student of Enugu State University of Science and Technology, was killed while assisting his widowed mother on their farm. According to reports, Ndubuisi had traveled home to visit his mother and decided to help her harvest cassava when armed Fulani herdsmen ambushed them. Tragically, he was shot and killed, leaving his mother devastated. This is not the first time the community of Eha Amufu has witnessed such violence. Residents say Fulani herdsmen have been terrorizing the area for years, with many families losing loved ones in similar attacks. Ndubuisi's father was also reportedly killed by herdsmen in the past, making this a double tragedy for the family. In response to the killing, thousands of women from Eha Amufu took to the streets in protest, demanding justice and an end to the violence. The protesters, representing 7 autonomous communities, accused the authorities of neglect and complicity, stating that the attacks have continued without intervention. The tragic murder of Donatus Ndubuisi has reignited calls for urgent security measures to protect vulnerable communities. We will continue to monitor the situation and bring you updates as they unfold. That's it.
Media shouldn't have just jumped into character assassinating by just, labeling someone that you've not caught red-handed, that nobody in history has ever confirmed his tribe or his kinsmen with that kind of activities. Tools company, such tools company or engine, number one in the world is Google. Google is having over how many trillion assets and is the richest social media platform. It's richer than Yahoo by far. Then you have Alexia. Wikipedia shouldn't have just jumped into character assassinating by just, labeling someone that you've not caught red-handed, that nobody in history has ever confirmed his tribe or his kinsmen with that kind of activities. Ekpa could never have been. No Igbo man is a terrorist. We have been saying this. But because Nigerian government prescribed IPOB blindly, Wikipedia jump into criticizing Ekpa, writing it. They already program it online that Ekpa is a terrorist. And today, with that libel suit, Wikipedia is going to pay. Yes, they are going to pay. I'm telling you, it's a must too. For defamation of character, damaging Ekpa's personality. Ekpa has right to sue Wikipedia. Not only United States. United States is doing that because they have interest in Igbo land, and they have actually seen that Ekpa has never perpetrated anything like arsonism in Nigeria. It is Nigerian government. It is the Fulani oligarchs that are responsible for all the killings, all the terrorist activities across Nigeria. Credits to Fulani, oligarchy. That's why America, in a very swift manner, rushed to the World International Criminal Court to sue Wikipedia to pay that money to the innocent victim. Just a victim of circumstances. I mean, Simon Ekpa. Because everything Fulani, Yoruba government, Fulani government, Yoruba government, Fulani government, that is what we have been having in Nigeria. Yoruba will be president, Fulani will be president, Yoruba will be president, Fulani will be president. They rush into criticizing Simon Ekpa to the level of proscribing him a terrorist. And America has actually screened him. Israel has actually screened him. United Nations has gone into serious investigation to actually find out what was going on in Igbo land. And they found out that it was the Fulani herders, number 4th deadliest terrorist organization in the world. The Fulani animal rearers. They are the terrorists in Nigeria. Ekpa, Simon Ekpa is not. Simon Ekpa is just defending his tribe, defending the Biafrans, thereby fighting seriously for emancipation of Biafra sovereignty. Ekpa would have no reason to perpetrate terrorism across Southeast or across Nigeria. Because Ekpa is a Nigerian, a British, a Finnish citizen, living in Finland, doing his normal business. And he was actually given or handed over a designated position in Finland government. And Ekpa did actually well after he resigned from Finland, you know, from Finnish military. So tell me, how come Ekpa perpetrating terrorism in Nigeria? So all these are the work of the Fulanis. All these are the work of Yoruba politicians. Somebody like Bayo Ononuga has seen Igbo man as black sheep of this country. Bayo Ononuga doesn't look 2 times to criticize the obedient movement. That obedient movement are responsible for the protesters that actually, you know, thrown the country into, let me say, absolute darkness on November 2024. Bayo Ononuga said it's the Igbos, it's the Igbos, it's the obedient, it's Simon Ekpa, it's Nnamdi Kanu, all his boys. Bayo Ononuga could not see anything right to say about Igbos because he's a very dubious Yoruba man. He actually accused Igbos wrongly and they stay cooling his head at Aso Rock, siphoning money, reaping from where he did not sow. And today, we are seeing a dilapidated Nigeria. The economy has collapsed to zero because of the handwork of Bayo Ononuga and his other cabal's colleague. And today, what are we saying? Wikipedia must pay. It's a good labor suit and to actually vindicate Biafra. Because investigation going on by United Nations and Finland, by United States of America, and the other civil rights organization has actually come out to at least testify that the terrorist group we have in Nigeria are number 1, Fulani herders. They are number 4th in the world. 2, Boko Haram. 3, ISWAP. 4, bandits. 5, Lakrua. None has been linked to the people of southeastern Nigeria. All these names were linked to Middle East Europe, Arab countries, Iran, Iraq, Hamas, Hezbollah, way back to Africa, Kano, Boronu, Katsina, Futajelo Island, southern Algeria, southern Libya, and Niger, some part of Niger, where Niger and Burkina Faso had boundary, you have this ISIS operating there, and other terrorist group. So Igbo man has nothing to do with an act of terrorism. They are businessmen, and Simon Ekpa would not have any reason to at least perpetrate an act of terrorism in Nigeria. He's not living in Nigeria. He's a well-paid man in Finland, where he is doing his businesses. So I think Wikipedia has gone a long way to dent their reputation. And the United States of America, Israel, I mean under Netanyahu, is taking good, you know, action against Wikipedia's, you know, blogging. They blogged it and they thought they could go free. And that was a dangerous blog. And today, they are going in for it. Actually, they are going in for it because they must visit ICC. They must visit ICC.
And we've seen during a media chat with channels, Governor Soludo said, you know, Ekpa issue is different from Nnamdi Kanu's case. That Ekpa was what? It was siphoning funds around the globe from Biafrans, you know, to commit terrorism. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with what he said? As regards, you know, Ekpa, you know, collecting donations fund, making himself rich and committing terrorism.
No, actually, we investigated Ekpa's activities in Finland and found out that the donor account was meant for Biafra, you know, liberation, Biafra liberation or inauguration that actually took part in Finland November last year. The whole money contributed are just meant for the funding for security in the land of Biafra. They collect the money, they pay security personnel, the forest guard, the ESN in Igbo land. ESN is not a terror group. They are the security outfit initiated by the Igbos to take care of our forest against the Fulani invasion. So what happened was that that particular account has been made known to United Nations, made known to United States, made known to Finland. It wasn't meant for sponsorship of terrorism. And you can see that Ekpa has been since vindicated. Many months now, actually Finland has actually come out to even sue federal government of Nigeria, take them to court for illegal allegation against their own citizen, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Ekpa has been vindicated all through. Nobody has linked any sponsorship of terrorism to Mazi Simon Ekpa in Finland.